Miss and Vandy, two teams putting up big numbers on the scoreboard, go head-to-head tonight as the Rebels look for win number 6 and Vandy looks to take a step towards bowl eligibility. And on this Saturday night in Nashville, we welcome you to a very lonely broadcast booth. That's right, solo tonight in the booth, because for this game we've got double the access down on the field. Jordan Rogers and Cole Kublik. We start with Jordan, who's standing by with Vandy head coach Derek Mason.
Coach Mason, every game is a must-win, but you got 2 left, need 2 to get bowl eligible. What was the message to the team in the locker room?
Focus on the now. That's all we got is the now. Okay, man, this team's got to play 4 quarters, 60 minutes every play. That's what we need today. That's what it's going to take.
Ole Miss got the 5th best offense in the entire country. How do you go about slowing them down?
Man, it's about the straining. Like tonight, man, we've got to play better than we've ever played. So with that being said, we just got to do what we do better.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Cole, what you got over there with Coach Luke?
Coach Luke, no Scotty Phillips. What do you do to get the run game cranked up tonight?
It's got to be us. We're not going to change. You know, Isaiah Woolard will step in there good. Eric Sweeney, he's played well. He's experienced and got Armani Linton moved back from defense for a third.
A little bit different style offense. They're going to huddle. They'll go a little bit slower. You'll see more tight ends. They're a bigger group. They give you something different than you usually see in college football today. What do you want to see early from your defense and how they react?
We got to play physical and stop the run. We got to trust our eyes. We can't buy into the eye candy. We got to be ready for the screens. Do a really good job with screens. We got to be great on those.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep, thank you.
Tom?
All right, Cole, thanks for Ole Miss. There will be no bowl this season. They are just 6 days away from their season coming to an end Thursday night in the Egg Bowl against Mississippi State. So it is the here and the now for one of the best offenses in college football. They've been led by Jordan Ta'amu. His numbers this year have been mind-boggling. In the last 4 games, he's turned it up with his legs as well. He ran all over Arkansas for a comeback win in Little Rock for 154 yards and a touchdown. And Ta'amu has directed this prolific Ole Miss offense. We'll see if they can get it going against Vandy tonight. So if you like offense, this is the place to be. Vanderbilt scored over 30 points each of their last 2 games. It's a strong running game for the Dores. A little bit of everything moves the ball for Ole Miss. Rebels won the toss. They've elected to receive. It'll be Elijah Moore, the freshman from Fort Lauderdale, back to receive this kickoff from Riley Gay. Matt Luke's squad with 2 games remaining in the season. He said it'd be really nice to get them to a spot where they knew they could have played in a bowl eligibility, and the Rebels 1 win away from their 6th win of the season. Dores need to win their final 2 to make it to the postseason for the 2nd time under Derek Mason. A driving kick deep to the back of the end zone, and no chance for Moore to bring it out. So here's Jordan Ta'amu out of Pearl City, Hawaii. He is a senior, came to Oxford by way of junior college, New Mexico Military Institute. Ta'amu has a long name and a lot of numbers. 2nd in the country in total offense, responsible for 373 yards a game. Ole Miss has some injury issues. They should be without Scotty Phillips tonight, still working his way back from ankle injury. Isaiah Woolard, the freshman from Hattiesburg, will start at running back. And here's Woolard over the right side. Jordan, what makes the other Jordan here tonight so dangerous?
Well, Tom, he is a dual-threat quarterback. He's probably as accurate as anybody in the entire SEC. Has an absolute cannon attached to the right side of his body. But really the last 3 or 4 games, he's been hurting teams with his legs. That's what I'm watching for tonight. Just how much toll can he take on his body? He's had about 66 carries in the last 4 games. It's been a big part of their offense.
Went for 373 yards in the loss to Texas A&M. Both of these teams have given up late leads, and we'll see who can win the 4th quarter tonight. Ta'amu to throw. Over the middle, complete for an Ole Miss first down. A.J. Brown, a bevy of talented receivers. Nobody better than Brown. That goes for 17.
And you see something there, Tom, that you actually don't get a lot of from Ole Miss. It's just a straight drop back pass. So much of what they do is RPOs tagged off of the run game. You'll see a lot of run blocking from the offensive line, and then the football be thrown.
An issue for Ole Miss early. Sean Rawlings, their starting center, has just limped to the Ole Miss sideline. Jordan Sims fills in his spot to snap to Tamu. This is an Ole Miss team besieged by injuries. Here's Woolard. 5 yards on the right side. You lose your center after just 2 plays, Cole. That can't be a good feeling.
No, and Jordan Sims out of Homewood High School is a guy that's done it. He snapped the football. He's played the position before, but Sean Rawlings is a leader, a guy that has taken a lot of snaps in this Ole Miss offense. It's difficult. One thing that helps is the pace and tempo that Ole Miss goes with. Don't have to worry about doing as much at the line of scrimmage.
Rawlings was out there for 2 plays. He made his 37th career start tonight. On 2nd and 5. Tamu flushed, crossing route too high, looking for DeMarcus Lodge.
Really good job there by Vanderbilt, bringing some pressure, getting off the edge. Josh Smith, a guy that has flourished in the place of Charles Wright, who really is Vandy's best defensive player, hasn't played all year. Josh Smith has really flourished off the edge, getting into being a better pass rusher, providing the pressure there against Tamu.
3rd down 9.
Vandy bringing pressure.
Tamu steps up, flicks it across for a 1st down, and a big knock after Floyd Allen hauled it in. Gain of 11, and Ladarius Wiley, who's playing with a heavy heart again tonight after losing his dad a couple weeks ago, comes up with the stop.
Jordan, you good with the amount of pressure you're seeing from this Vanderbilt defense so far?
I mean, I like it so far. They're gonna test Ole Miss on the outside playing man coverage, and Ole Miss has missed on a few of those, but I'm okay dialing up the pressure.
Here's A.J. Brown on the outside. Forced out by Sheffield. That goes for 8.
But with that pressure now, we've seen Tamu have to try to escape the pocket the first time. He stepped up in the pocket that time, found Floyd Allen. Allen just his 3rd reception on the entire year. These are guys that haven't played a ton of football together. Really good job finding the open space, giving numbers to his quarterback.
Allen's a senior from Houston, junior college transfer. Here's Isaiah Woolard, lost the football, and it bounced right back up to him. Gain of 12 for Isaiah Woolard, freshman from Hattiesburg.
Little gap scheme run there. Nice block by Ben Brown at right guard. 55 pulls around, gets a nice kick out, but Woolard's got to hold on to that football. And you mentioned, Jordan, just a second ago, the receivers don't have a ton of reps. These Ole Miss running backs don't have a ton of reps either.
No, Scotty Phillips has almost 150 carries to his name. Woolard came in with only 57. Eric Swinney in there now. He only has 11 carries this season. 10th play of the drive is a Swinney run, and he lowers his shoulder to pick up his 4th yard. Ole Miss has put up plenty of yards, but the last 3 games they've really struggled in the red zone, converting with just 7 touchdowns in 17 trips.
Yeah, and that's really been the difference in the games that they've lost. That has been the difference. Couple close ones. You got to get touchdowns, not field goals, when you're down in the red zone, especially as good as this offense is.
15 red zone field goals for Ole Miss. Towards the end zone, caught, and Lodge lost it. DeMarcus Lodge had it in his hands. Randall Haney had the coverage.
Wow, and Ole Miss got the matchup they wanted. DeMarcus Lodge on Randall Haney. It's a short post route, a little high on the ball by Jordan Tamu, but great job as DeMarcus Lodge is bringing that down. Randall Haney splits the hands and breaks that up.
That's that rainbow that Phil Longo was talking about. The rainbow of the catch radius. Want to aim more towards the numbers. He said Jordan Tamu is that good that he wants to aim away from that rainbow and get it right into the shoulders and chest.
Tamu fakes the swing route. Now looking to run on a tender ankle. He gets taken down at the line of scrimmage by Deo Odengbo. And that'll bring on the kicking team for Ole Miss.
Big stop by Vandy. I tell you what, from down here at field level, the pressure on Tamu, and even more importantly, every tackle, Cole, that Vandy's going in for, they're looking to strip the football. There is an emphasis on getting that ball out by Jason Tarver in this defense.
Well, Derek Mason told us he was emphasizing a couple different things this week. Maybe that's one.
32-yard attempt for Luke Logan. He's able to put it through. And Ole Miss has the lead. Logan 1 for 2 field goals last week against A&M. And the Rebels out front.
Kyle Shurmur, the last 3 or 4 games, is playing more confident. He's more accurate. It's coinciding with Keyshawn Vaughn having a couple big games. This offense is starting to get going.
They've scored better than 30 points each of the last 2 games. Jamari Wakefield from a yard in. And the sophomore, the full head of steam, takes it out to the 22-yard line. And that's where Kyle Shurmur and company will start. Kyle Shurmur's been really good lately. This junior quarterback out of Philadelphia. His dad, Pat, head coach of the Giants. His mom was a great swimmer at Michigan State. And Kyle was a good swimmer in his own right while also playing football at LaSalle High School. Second behind Jay Cutler in touchdown passes. He's right behind him in passes. He's 677 yards shy of him for the school record in yards. I don't really know what that means, but I like it. Here's Kalijah Lipscomb. And he gets dragged down after a gain of 8. Javian Hamilton in coverage for Ole Miss.
Well, it's pretty easy, Tom. Everybody calls this weekend Cupcake Weekend. My problem with that is cupcakes are good. Cupcakes are tasty. We like cupcakes. So many people hate these games this weekend. Why would you call them something that we all like? We want more cupcakes. People don't want more of these games, do they?
Well, it's more like the teams devour their matchups.
Yeah,
just
lettuce,
as
you can do without
devour
lettuce
cupcakes.
on a sandwich. Jordan's the only one that likes lettuce in this kid.
Get out of here. Get out.
They go with the end around. This is Donovan Tennyson, and he's going to Ole Miss first down, plenty more. He breaks away into Ole Miss territory on a 20-yard run.
That is a sight for sore eyes for Vandy offensive coordinator Andy Ludwig. Donovan Tennyson, I was here this spring watching this kid play. He is dynamic. He has a burst. He's probably the fastest receiver on this roster. They just have not been able to get him going. Haven't really put it all together as far as lining up in the right spots, knowing where he should be. But when he gets the ball in his hands, he's dynamic. They can continue to use that on those jet sweeps. It's going to be great to open up the run for Keyshawn Vaughn.
Key block on the edge by Jared Pinkney that time. Quick handoff for Jamari Wakefield, pardon me, and he's able to find 3. Cole, I'm going to go with green bean casserole. Maybe that's a shout out to my mother-in-law to avoid that this week, but I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Green bean, squash casserole. Yeah, this weekend can be. How about this? Well, there's good casseroles too. You get that sweet potato casserole, and I'm going to go back for double, maybe triple helpings of that deal. But
absolutely.
Most casseroles, I'll give it casserole weekend. I'm cool with that.
Second down 7. Pinkney into the backfield now. More shifts and motions. There's a reason why Vandy shifts to tight end so much. I'll tell you about it in a second. Here's Keyshawn Vaughn. And he's escorted out of bounds after gain of 1. And Jordan, sometimes it depends on what the down and distance is as to what they're looking for when they shift Pinkney.
Absolutely. You saw right there, that shift was to see if the defense was going to react. They did react, so they shift back. You saw Kyle Shurmur kill the play there. He tapped his helmet. They went back to the original play. But on third downs, you're also going to see Vandy motion to figure out the coverage, hide some of the receiver splits. They use it for the run and the pass.
A lot of times that'll tell Kyle Shurmur whether or not the defense is in man coverage. Third down 6. With 1 second on the play clock, Shurmur going deep. Too much air underneath it, trying to find Jared Pinkney. Vernon Dasher had the matchup. I guess you typically want, well, Dasher more of a nickelback, but they call it an outside linebacker position for Ole Miss. You like the Pinkney versus Dasher matchup?
That's the matchup they're looking for. I mean, Dasher's athletic, plays that star position, the nickel position, but you'd rather have him on that guy than a corner, because Ole Miss has some guys that can cover on the backside, including true freshman Keydron Smith, but they're going to try to dip into the well and get Jared Pinkney some of those favorable matchups. That's why they move him around so much.
Parker Tomey out of Hortonville, Wisconsin. Punts it away. Fair catch taken at the 6. It's a 39-yard punt. Elijah Moore took the fair catch with the Vandy defenders barreling down on him. Tamu lets it go to the outside. That is complete to DeMarcus Lodge. He turns upfield for a first down. Randall Haney the stop. Gain of 12.
We've seen so much man that time, just off coverage. They're going to take that hitch route as much as they can. Then as we saw last drive, going to come back at you with a double move on the outside to A.J. Brown or DeMarcus Lodge eventually.
Trying to hold his water, literally. Tamu, out route complete. This is A.J. Brown. He has been Sensational. 3 state 100-yard games for Brown. 5th in the country in receiving. Over 1,000 yards again. That one goes for 15.
And this is why this offense can be so frustrating. This ball control passing attack. Anytime you go zone, you give them the cushion. A.J. Brown, DeMarcus Lodge are athletic enough. They're physical enough to body up on the outside against soft coverage and take it. And then once you decide to press or change up that coverage, they're going to take a shot.
Octavius Cooley, tight end, picks up the block. Here goes Tamu over the edge. And he slides down right underneath Dimitri Moore for a gain of 3. So what kind of pressure's on Phil Longo when it comes to calling quarterback runs tonight, given that Tamu is on a pitch count, so to speak?
Yeah, I mentioned earlier in the game, he's had 66 attempts in the last 4 games. It's been a huge part of their offense, and you don't want to lose it, but Phil Longo is going to see that run right there. Notice that there wasn't any contact, but he's going to log that one away, and he's going to start to track just how many of these runs Tiamu has had and make sure that he doesn't get too many hits throughout the game.
A.J. Brown picking up what he's putting down. It's the 2nd time Ole Miss has lost a football and found it. Bullard did it once. Brown does it once.
That's the end of the first
Phil
quarter.
Longo's offense has found its rhythm a couple times, but been stopped. They lead 3-0 through 1 quarter. So Matt Luke's squad trying to finish this drive off when we return. Ole Miss defense pitching a shutout moments ago. The guys with defensive coordinator Wesley McGriff.
Coach McGriff, a lot of movement with that Vanderbilt offense. How do you feel like your players have reacted so far?
Well, I think they're acting real well. You know, with the movement, they're trying to get some eye violations, and our guys doing a great job of being calm. We missed that one in that 2 trap, but I like the way they responded and got off the field.
Coach, you haven't seen the screens just yet from Vandy that you thought you would. What are you telling your team about what's to come?
It's coming. Those screen plays are definitely coming. They're the best in the country at running them. They make explosive plays off of them, so we're not going to fall asleep. We're looking for those screens to come.
Coach, just curious, as a D coordinator, why are you down here on the field? Why do you not like being in the booth?
Well, it's hard to put enthusiasm in prison. You got to have enthusiasm on the sideline, so we're not going to do that. We're going to keep that enthusiasm on the sideline.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Go give it to him.
Yes, sir.
All right, great job, guys. Floyd Allen able to pick up 14 yards on the first down pass. This note on Ole Miss's defense. This season, they've allowed 118 points in the first quarter. That's 33% of their total points allowed. Tonight, Vandy's crossed midfield twice and has nothing to show for it. Tamu play action over the middle, batted down. Fantastic play by Ladarius Wiley. And once you hear his story, he'll probably become your favorite football player in the SEC.
Unbelievable. This is a great play here. Trying for a pop pass to Octavius Cooley. Wiley a little bit out of coverage at first, but gains the ground back, gets a hand up. And that's what it resulted in 2 interceptions last week. For Drew Lock, is Vandy getting the hands on the ball on passing plays up front and in the secondary.
Now 2nd and 10. That's Cooley, the tight end, who shifts. Again, Tamu over the middle after selling the play action. A.J. Brown picks up 13.
Going back to Ladarius Wiley, Tom, just incredible to hear Derek Mason talk about what has been asked of him on this football team while he's on the field. The amount of one-on-one tackles that he's had to make, the amount of times he's been one-on-one in coverage, the amount of times he's been responsible for communicating across the board on defense. Just an impressive thing to hear from Mason, and an impressive young man to sit down and talk to.
He was the first Derek Mason recruit. They originally met when Mason was the defensive coordinator at Stanford, and he went into Inglewood, California to recruit the product out of Cathedral High School. On 1st and goal, Tamu has it pulled back, and Tamu will end up going down. Dimitri Moore takes him down. It's a loss of 1.
And the same play they just ran on the other side to A.J. Brown. This time trying to hit DeMarcus Lodge. It's really good coverage here by Donovan Sheffield. Little play action. Tamu had to move in the pocket, kind of messed up the timing there. Good job by Vandy. Again, getting pressure around the feet of Tamu, forcing him at worst to move his feet just a little bit in order to let that ball go.
This will be the 11th play of the drive. 2nd and goal for Ole Miss. Tamu quick to the outside. Lodge, stiff arms one guy, goes to the pylon, and he dives over the goal line for an Ole Miss touchdown.
Just an incredibly athletic play by DeMarcus Lodge. I mentioned it, the ball control offense by Ole Miss. It's a slow death. If you give them any kind of cushion on the outside, they're going to continue to take that. And they just have better players on the outside that can make plays like that. Not sure if his foot was on the line there.
Look at his heel. And if it was on the edge, he'd be out of bounds at the 1.
The runner stepped out of bounds, and the ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. To first down and goal.
Well, we've mentioned everybody who's gone from a physicality standpoint for Ole Miss. Sean Rawlings is out of the game. Scotty Phillips is not here. Dawson Knox not in the game. But you have to finish this drive. Have to find a way to punch the ball in the end zone.
Pellerin at the H position. Handoff, roll it, hit in the backfield. And Vandy turns him back. It's a loss of 2. Frank Coppett came up from his safety spot.
Yeah, so they went zone front side, and this is one of those times that a young running back, he'll start to learn. You got to press that zone to the front side before you cut back. I'm not saying that there was a wide open hole, because there wasn't, but you can't cut that back immediately. You got nobody on the backside. Entire offensive line is going zone scheme to the left. You got to start it there and then look for the cutback. Can't cut back that early.
So a 20-yard attempt for Luke Logan. He's already made one from 32. And this one is just inside the upright. Logan 2 for 2 tonight. Ole Miss's prolific offense has scored just a pair of field goals through a quarter plus. Luke Logan to kick it away. Jamari Wakefield to receive for Vandy. Wakefield from the 4. Buck down shy of the 20. Here's Keyshawn Vaughn. And a first down run, a gain of 17. Where did Keyshawn Vaughn come from? Why has he been so impactful lately?
Well, I think he just was a little bit rusty, Tom. I mean, he redshirted last year after transferring from Illinois, got going a little bit towards the middle of the season, had a setback against Florida with an injury. So we're really just seeing him coming into his own. I tell you what, for a guy that transferred and set out a year, that rust is real. I mean, it takes a couple games to get back into the swing of things. So we're seeing him hit his stride maybe a little later than Vandy would have liked, but boy, he is as complete of a back, as dangerous as there is in the SEC.
Fly motion, they give it straight ahead to Vaughn again. Another big gain. Texas A&M all over UAB, 17-7. That's a really good UAB team. A game available on ESPN2. Shurmur throws it to a slant, and it is dropped by Kalijah Lipscomb. Great coverage by Ole Miss.
Great coverage by a true freshman out there, Keidron Smith. Wasn't starting until a handful of games ago. Was a backup, but really has played his way into this starting lineup and really earned the trust of Wesley McGriff, the defensive coordinator. Has no problem leaving the 6'2", 192-pound corner outside in man-to-man coverage, and you can see why.
Both of these teams are thin defensively, so much so that Armani Litton will see some time in the backfield, both defensive and offensive tonight. Here's Keyshawn Vaughn, only a gain of 1. All right, hey, you guys were talking to Wesley McGriff at the end of the first quarter. He said they anticipate seeing some of these Vanderbilt screens. Where are they?
I thought 3rd and 5 might be a good screen down. We saw a 3rd and long in the first quarter and didn't see one. So I'm kind of with you, Tom. I was wondering on that play, would it be the first time that we saw a Vanderbilt screen? They've had a lot of success with them. The offensive line executes them well. Shurmur sells it well. And obviously you get it to a guy like Keyshawn Vaughn, he's going to be able to make a play in space. We will see some tonight.
Well, and that's the thing. It doesn't just have to be a situational thing. It doesn't have to just be against pressure or just on 3rd down. You got to get your playmakers the ball in space, and that's one way to get Vaughn the ball with a little more green grass than that inside zone.
42-yard punt from Parker Tomey. Elijah Moore takes a fair catch. Jordan Ta'amu and Ole Miss back on offense. Jordan Ta'amu and the Ole Miss offense have settled for a pair of field goals tonight. He is 14 of 19 through the air. Make it 15 of 20. A.J. Brown at the sideline. Lost the first man. Runs past the second. Bends in past the third. And A.J. Brown's going to go all the way into the end zone. A detour on an 84-yard catch and one for the Rebels.
Whoa.
I think that's why NFL scouts are drooling over A.J. Brown. I mean, standing down here on the sideline, he is jacked. He is about 220 pounds, 230. And look at that, outrunning everybody on the entire field.
He didn't outrun, he ran away.
I mean, yeah, gone.
Fourth straight 100-yard receiving game for A.J. Brown. 6 catches, 152 yards. He's been targeted 7 times. That's about as efficient as you can get. He's got that nasty wide-out belt. A.J. Brown doing it by himself. 6th touchdown catch of the season. Look at him go. Shook one, ran past another, got good blocking for the 3rd, and A.J. Brown celebrates Ole Miss's longest play of the season. By the way, tomorrow will mark exactly 18 years since Michigan last won at Ohio State. Buckeyes eked one out on the road today in overtime. Fair catch taken. Play action. Shurmur goes to Pinckney. Beautiful over-the-shoulder catch for Vanderbilt. First down and a gain of 36.
Absolutely love the play call. Keyshawn Vaughn had a few big runs last drive. They go play action on first down. Scissor concept. C.J. Bowler, the outside receiver's running a post. He's carrying the defenders out of the way. And you got Jared Pinckney on the inside running the corner route. Not going to have a better ball than that either. Kyle Shurmur put that on the money.
Pinckney with the most receptions by a tight end here at Vandy since Chuck Scott back in 1984. Fitting that we met in the tight end room yesterday with that big picture of Chuck on the wall. Straight ahead, Keyshawn Vaughn picked up 3.
Vandy going to try to speed it up here a little bit.
Fake the jet action again. Shurmur looking for Pinckney. He was covered. And so they go underneath to C.J. Bowler. And he's brought down right at the marker. Looks like a Vandy first down.
Did you notice there how nothing was called? There was nothing called at the line of scrimmage there by Kyle Shurmur. It's what they call a 2-play combo. There's actually 2 plays called in the huddle, and no matter what happens, they're lining up after that first run and doing the second play. Love that. It increases the tempo even more than a quarterback barking out the protection and changing things real quick.
How many options does that second play have to have if you're going to do that?
Actually, none. Usually there are 2 plays that you know that run's going to stay on the left side, so you call a play that you like working to the right side right after it.
Here's Vaughn. Big hole on the right side. Got tripped up and turns into a 5-yard gain.
Good push.
Yeah, good push, and I think one thing that you're seeing help, we've seen a lot of that jet sweep motion. Think about the success that they had on it with the first 2 drives. That is forcing those linebackers to play outside of the box a little bit and helping out.
Second down 9 for Vandy. Vaughn wrapped up in the backfield. Kadir Shepard came flying in. It's a loss of 4. He went straight land shark on him.
Kadir Shepard, Josiah Coatney, Benito Jones. This front for Ole Miss is talented, and Wesley McGriff has challenged them to play better. They always have snaps like this where they can get north and south, they can get vertical, they can disrupt the backfield, but it's the consistency to which they do that.
Watch the bootleg off that, though, because they're not respecting the backside there. That defensive end's crashing down, and he's taking that run play.
Vandy has yet to convert a 3rd down tonight. Shurmur with a change at the line. Lobs, end zone, miscalculated, and perhaps a bad route by Donovan Tennyson.
Yeah, just a miscommunication on the outside. Tennyson's guy, as I mentioned earlier, hasn't had a ton of play throughout the season, especially at wide receiver. He's in the slot. This is really a 2-way go. He can take the inside or he can take the outside, but he has to make that decision quicker. He ends up taking the inside too late. Kyle Shurmur's thinking he's going to break to the outside, so he throws it that direction and no time to recover and make an adjustment.
37-yard attempt. for Riley Gay, junior from Naperville, Illinois. Been good from a long ways back. Vandy's on the board. Derek Mason's squad trails by 10, 5:44 before the half. And Derek Mason talked about being better defensively late in games. 13-3, Ole Miss with the lead. Tamu and that offense have put up 271 yards already. Last possession ended with a quick strike to A.J. Brown. And now on the ground, Isaiah Willard. And he rips off a gain of 6. Well, the message from Derek Mason was we're playing too many guys defensively. They have 2 games left in the season. They need to win them both to go to a bowl. Basically said I have no patience for playing guys just to play guys. You got 2 games left. You should be, outside of situational substitutions, able to let it all hang out.
And I get frustrated sometimes, Tom, when people talk about going to a bowl game and it's meaningless or it doesn't mean a lot to these teams or who cares about those bowl games. Some of my best memories as a college football player came on bowl trips. It's a reward. It benefits the program, and I think it should be celebrated no matter which postseason game you're in.
3rd down, 6 for Ole Miss and Jordan Tamu.
Vandy bringing pressure again off both edges.
Now they drop it. Tamu. Pump fake, has nowhere to go on the run. Yeah, Jordan, they showed pressure. They ended up only bringing 3. What does that do to a quarterback?
Well, it was great because Tamu looked in that direction immediately to try to throw a hot route to the pressure that he thought was coming to the left. It didn't. They still brought pressure to the right, forced him outside the pocket. And this is where Vandy has been doing a good job so far in the game. Obviously, they've given up some scores, but containing Tamu when he gets outside the pocket. Great job of bluffing the blitz and confusing Tamu.
Mac Brown has it blocked into the end zone. It will go out of the back of the end zone for a safety. Ole Miss brought the house. Vandy brought the house, and they smother it. Max Worship with the play of the night for Vandy.
And confusion by the 3 guys in the stack here about who was supposed to get who. That number count is done before the snap occurs, especially with that rugby-style punt. When they drift to the right, you got to make sure you know which defenders you're working to. See the 3 guys in the backfield here, not able to pick up a guy splits right through. And boy, when Vandy needed it, they got it.
Max Worship with the play. And Vandy's going to get the ball right back with under 4 to go. Last Vandy block punt came against Alabama A&M in September of last year. The last safety they had came against Middle Tennessee in September of 16. Derek Mason's team looking for some momentum. Perhaps they got it out of special teams. Luke Logan will kick it away from the 20. And Vandy should have fine field position after this return by Jamari Wakefield. Flags on the play, multiple. Wakefield tripped up at midfield. Play action. Looking deep to the outside. Caught by Pinckney. And he gets popped. Cole, I want to go back to what you said a moment ago, though. You said Ole Miss is aggressive early. Phil Longo running his best plays. Andy Ludwig maybe not. You suggesting that they're holding something in the tank for the second half?
Well, Derek Mason did say he would have a different mentality and a different plan going into the second half of this football game. We've only seen the stretch play once or twice. We haven't seen a screen play yet. We've seen him challenge down the field a little bit, but just seems to be a little more laid back offensively for Vandy.
Ole Miss brings the blitz, man coverage outside, and it's knocked down. Incomplete, trying to get it to Bowler.
That's a couple really good plays we've seen by Ken Webster on the outside. This is actually a really good ball. Bowler has a chance to high point it, go up for it. It's thrown a little bit behind the receiver on purpose, so he has a chance to go up and get it. And Webster just splits the hands and breaks that up.
Matt Luke likes it. Looks like he's on a pogo stick down here, jumping up and down, rooting on his defense.
Fired up.
3rd down 4. Jamari Wakefield is the running back for Vandy. Play clock's at 1. Pressure coming. Shurmur got hit as he threw. And we got multiple flags on a ball that was fluttered to the outside.
Pass interference on the defense, number 21. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Javian Hamilton.
Zero pressure. As a DB out there, you're on an island. You're expecting that ball to get out and thrown early, so you play tight. Sometimes get a little too handsy, too early in the route. And that's what happened there.
Reaction from Shurmur after he got that one away in traffic. First and goal. Vandy's got 2 timeouts remaining. Entire playbook at their disposal thanks to the timeouts. Keyshawn Vaughn in the backfield behind Kyle Shurmur. Quick hitch, and Lipscomb is able to get it to the goal line and in. 2-yard touchdown pass.
And it's really the motion that makes this play. Kalijah Lipscomb motioning from outside towards the bunch means all those DBs lining up over the bunch have got to perk their ears up and decide who's grabbing who. That means they're going to be a little hesitant to a short throw. Great play design. And a great job finishing that out.
Lipscomb's 8th touchdown catch of the season. Riley Gay on for the point after. And with a minute to go in the first half, Vanderbilt took advantage of the short field after the safety and the free kick. 4 Ole Miss penalties on the drive. 7 plays and 53 yards later, they have their first touchdown of the night. Vandy needs to win its final 2 to make it to a bowl game. Ole Miss is ineligible for a bowl this season, but the goal is to get it to bowl eligibility in terms of 6 or 7 wins, with the rival waiting on Thursday night. A.J. Brown with an 84-yard touchdown. The lead is 1 at the break for Ole Miss over Vandy. Stay tuned. The Regions Bank halftime report is coming your way right after this. Jordan Tamu had that big hookup with Brown, but otherwise pretty quiet. 240 yards from Matt Luke's squad. They expect more from the nation's 5th-ranked offense. Meanwhile, Kyle Shurmur and Vandy hanging right there. Does Derek Mason have a trick up his sleeve for the second half? We will wait and see. Welcome back. We've divided it up. Tom Hart up here, Cole and Jordan down on the field. Guys, Derek Mason told us they're going to have a better second half game plan this week than they've had. What do we expect?
Maybe a little more aggressive on defense, but I think definitely more aggressive on offense. You take some chances down the field.
Absolutely. Offensively, the play action passes got to get going. They got to hit a couple screens. But defensively, the scheme hasn't been terrible. They got to tackle. Absolutely. They got to tackle on the outside, plain and simple.
From the Seahawks tree, new generation of tackling. Jamari Wakefield set to return. And he will bring it out after taking it a yard deep. Nice cutback. And plenty of room down the field out to the 36-yard line. Moment. They fake the jet. Shurmur diving catch. Fantastic grab by Jared Pinkney. As tight ends aren't supposed to do that. He picks up 23.
That is the route, a deep over route. We were just talking about the outside zone. What does that do? It allows you to get some green grass in the secondary, sucking those linebackers up. And that's a big-time throw by Kyle Shurmur, an over route. One that Ludwig mentioned, that's one he'd like to see him throw a little more consistently. Haven't hit it quite as perfect as they've wanted to. That was a heck of a ball.
Jet sweep, Kalijah Lipscomb. Good blocking on the edge from Pinckney, and it turns into a 14-yard gain on first down. So what are we seeing differently from Vandy coming out of the locker room?
I don't think you've seen anything too different yet, Tom, except maybe going back to the plays that they've originally built this offense on and finding a little bit of success with those. I think when we said that the offense was a little slow under Ludwig in the first half, it meant that he was trying to set some things up for the second half. That one play action for the first down, and then that jet sweep right there may have been 2 plays that were set up.
I've seen every element of this offense: outside zone, hitting, play action pass, and misdirection. It's the foundation of this offense.
There's play action to Pinckney. Shed the first, gets taken down, but there's a flag on the play. Vernon Dasher with the tackle for Ole Miss.
There is no foul for an ineligible receiver downfield. The pass was called behind the line of scrimmage.
2nd down 4. Mo Hassan now in at quarterback for Vandy. Hassan's going to keep it. Got a block for Pinckney, and he is down right outside the goal line. Ball came out loose after he was down.
Yeah, Mo Hassan is the quarterback they'll bring in to run some of that read option that is not in Kyle Shurmur's wheelhouse. He's extremely athletic. He's long. Takes a hit at the end there.
Yeah, I think it's his head bouncing off the turf, guys.
That's what it was.
He looks rubber-legged as he heads to the sideline. I formation for Vandy. Shurmur under center. Give to the right side. Keyshawn Vaughn will walk in. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. Sean McMorr, backup right guard, was in there at fullback.
That's the tough part about that formation in there. You got 2 or 3 tight ends. You got a fullback. You create so much surface area that the defense has to decide, are we going to guard the inside gaps, or are we going to make sure we get contained? As you see there, Ole Miss had every gap filled on the inside, but they did not have contained. The ball goes outside. Perfect call play for a touchdown.
First lead of the game for Vandy. Riley Gay on for the point after. And then Vanderbilt has opened up a 6-point lead on Ole Miss. How about Keyshawn Vaughn? Another touchdown run, his 10th of the season. Dores in front. As Vandy continues its journey to a hopeful bowl bid, Cole and Jordan reflect on their bowl experience. Brought to you by Pilot Flying J. Who's that guy?
Who are you making fun of?
I just wondering who it was. J-Rod showing the hair off in 2012.
I had better days. It was an awkward stage, to say the least. You know, a lot of awkward stages in college.
You had to grow into this beautiful head of hair. It doesn't just happen naturally.
And you got to try everything. So you grow it out really long one time.
We're supposed to be talking bowls, not bowl cuts. Cole, what was your experience
there it
like?
goes. Well, obviously you saw we got to meet Shurmur there at the Citrus Bowl in 2001. Now, I tell you, in the photograph, you can't really tell who Shurmur is, the orca or me, as fat as I am in that photograph. But I tell you, Jordan, some of my best memories as a college football player were in bowl games. In the Citrus Bowl, we went to Disneyland on Christmas Day. Coolest thing I've ever done. Christmas Day. It was the most crowded day of the year, they said, and be able to do that. I went to Shreveport, Louisiana for the Blue Land Weed Eater Bowl. We saw Vanilla Ice perform twice on the same bowl trip.
Did you get a weed eater out of it?
No, they didn't give those away.
See, my problem is we're from Nashville. We went to Memphis for a bowl game, and we stayed in Nashville for a bowl game. So I didn't get to travel out of the state of Tennessee, but we got to go do some things that we hadn't done before in Nashville. But the bowl experience is more, you're like a professional athlete.
Absolutely.
You got no school, just football, just practice.
DeMarcus Lodge turns it back to the outside. He's past midfield.
You get a little extra something. You get the travel money, you get the meal money, you get gifts, you get cool things. They treat
the gift suites.
Yeah, they treat you like professional athletes at most of these bowl games.
You get this room full of gifts, and you get so many points or dollars, however it works out. And you get to
they
decide
gave us
what
a
you want.
button-down denim shirt, and that was all we got.
A bunch of guys on my team got a recliner.
That's sweet.
A full-on lazy boy.
Well, I would have taken that.
Ole Miss is ineligible for the postseason because of NCAA probation, but they are going to make it a bowl-like experience. Here's A.J. Brown up the sideline. So Matt Luke, for the second year in a row, is going to set up like you would a gift suite or a game suite that you would get at bowls. You're going to bring in a bunch of video games, let the guys chill out. There's no classes next week at Ole Miss. So as they get ready for the Egg Bowl, they're going to be treated to what essentially is a bowl-like atmosphere in their downtime. Here's Isaiah Woolard. And Woolard stays on his feet.
I think that was the key to it, Tom, is that he knows there's no class. He wants those players to be able to spend that time together. Because Matt Luke, talking to us about his bowl experience as a player, he said, I don't remember anything about the games. I remember hanging out with my teammates, and I want those guys to at least have that memory.
Ole Miss marching on its first drive of the second half. They've already covered 68 yards in just 3 plays. Shurmur looking end zone. Pressured. Flicks it. It falls incomplete. The referee looking over the top. Odangbo got to him for a second time. How is this not grounding?
Boy, it really doesn't look like Tom was able to escape much out of his original spot. He was trying to throw slants to the left.
And they just dropped the flag. It will be. Yeah, the ball was on the right hash. He got one step outside of the hash. It does not clear you from the tackle box.
Grounding on the offense, number 10. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. It includes a loss of down. Second down.
Boy, Dio Odangbo, they provided the pressure there in Jordan Ta'amu. We were talking to defensive coordinator Jason Tarver for Vanderbilt about him. You don't get many bodies like that at Vanderbilt. I was here at Vanderbilt. The 3 years I was here, we didn't get any 6'6", 270-pound guys with about 10% body fat. At Vanderbilt, you don't see him. He's been a little bit loose, to say, on defense, and what I mean by that is he's trying to make plays. He gets out of position, hasn't been as precise, but right there made a huge play, and Tarver said he is so close to having it all click. And it looks like tonight, already a couple big plays, it looks like it's clicking.
Absolutely.
Tarver sporting the eye black on the sideline. Quarterback draw. Ta'amu is able to escape pressure. Yeah, it was funny talking with Tarver yesterday. He said Odangbo has the potential for a 2 or 3 sack game at any moment. They've got him in position to do that. He is right there on pace with his coach tonight in that regard. First season as the defensive coordinator for Derek Mason. They were together at Stanford. Tarver spent a lot of time in the NFL, was a defensive coordinator with the Raiders for a few seasons. Third and goal. Safety blitz coming. Ta'amu gets it away. It is Moore, and he's brought down at the 5-yard line. Alan George with the stop for Vandy.
Same exact play they ran on a 3rd down on, I believe, the first drive of the game, just a whip route. So Elijah Moore is going to start inside, sell the slant, go back outside on a quick out, and Alan George twice now. Great open field solo tackles on a shifty Elijah Moore in the slot.
3rd red zone field goal attempt for Ole Miss, and that one off the upright but through. And Luke Logan is a perfect 3 for 3 tonight. But the Ole Miss offense, the 5th best offense in college football, has stalled inside the red zone multiple times. They've been held to a red zone field goal 18 times this season. They trailed Vandy by 3. Ole Miss down by 3. Rebels fans making a short drive up to support their squad. Here's Jamari Wakefield taking a fair catch. And his relationship with Derek Mason, guys, speaks to how this entire team, I think, feels about Derek Mason. As Vaughn takes it to the right side for a yard. And all the players we spoke with yesterday spoke in glowing terms about what Derek Mason means to them. And Cole, I know you are an energetic football guy, but I seriously thought you were going to run through a brick wall when we got done talking to Derek Mason.
Well, Larry Leathers, the sports information director, brought one of these beautiful helmets in for Military Appreciation Night and put it on the table so we'd have a chance to see it. I wanted to strap it up. I wanted to go play. Now, I could give him maybe 2 snaps before I'd be in the hospital, but it's hard not to love Derek Mason, hard not to appreciate what he does for his players.
Shurmur looking for a screen. They looked one way, came back the other, and Ole Miss had it well defended. So
but Tom, I think maybe the most impressive part was when we spoke to Derek Mason about some of his players.
Yeah.
And heard his reaction and how he cares about certain guys on his football team. That is really what I think showed what a special individual and head coach he is.
And Jordan, it's not easy to win here at Vanderbilt.
No, it's not. And when you sit down with Mason, for those of you who never have, he's so genuine, he's so honest, he's so motivating, he's caring. You want to play for a guy like that. He just hasn't been on level playing field with his ability to recruit and the facilities and everything going on here. But he's a guy that can get it done at Vanderbilt if he's given an opportunity.
Lots of hand fighting down the sideline, but incomplete. Trying to get it to Chris Pierce against Kedron Smith.
Almost looked like Kedron Smith just said, I don't know where the football is, so I'm going to attack the wide receiver.
Yeah.
Don't know if they deem that football catchable or not.
And this is one that almost every time gets called when the DB does not turn around to play the football. Kyle Shurmur lets it go to the left sideline.
Definitely catchable. Could have easily made an adjustment and gotten back inside.
Yeah, trying to throw a jump ball to 6'4", 215-pound sophomore Chris Pierce, and Smith just didn't make a play. I mean, that should have been a flag.
Elijah Moore back to receive. High snap. They come after him, and the ball flipped forward. You can't advance it on 4th down, and it looked like it was an incomplete pass. Parker Tomey got swarmed, and he couldn't quite pull the trigger on the kick. So in an effort just to save some field position.
The ruling on the field was an incomplete pass. Number 34 was an eligible receiver in the area. First down, Ole Miss.
We saw Ole Miss get a punt blocked in a big momentum play for Vanderbilt. Now Vanderbilt with a little taste of their own medicine. And Vandy's going to have to come up big in the red zone again.
Well, because keep in mind, that first Vanderbilt drive of the second half was nice.
Yeah, it
Drove
was.
it all the way down the field.
Two offenses have been putting up big numbers. Who knew that special teams would play such a key role in this one? Here's Isaiah Woolard. 4 yards on the left side.
Pretty good movement inside by Jordan Sims, filling in for Sean Rawlings at center. As a senior, he's played a lot of football here at Ole Miss. He's played both guards. He's played some center. Hadn't had a bad snap tonight, so he's kept that under control. A nice job coming off the bench.
Tamu pulls it back before delivering to Woolard. Dawson Knox is back in the game. Pardon me, that's Swinney. And number 9, Knox, who had to sit out the first half because of targeting last week, had a key block.
I was just going to mention, back in the game, this changes what they're able to do with tempo, because he can play receiver and he can play tight end in the box and block for the run, as he's doing right now.
Swinney again. No such luck this time, no gain.
Boy, and Knox drove his guy from the left side of the ball all the way to the right side. He's like, man, you guys locked me up all first half. I'm gonna lay it all out here in the second half.
I always wonder what those guys do in the first half.
I don't know.
I mean, you know you're watching the game, but are you running around? Are you like slamming stuff
What
down?
TV are you watching? I know for sure those Vandy locker rooms here, they don't have TVs.
He's got the Watch ESPN app. He's watching his phone.
There you go.
35-yard attempt from Luke Logan. Another Ole Miss stall in the red zone. It's been their 19th red zone field goal this season. And Logan is 4 for 4. We are tied at 19. 6:26 left in the third here on Nashville's West End. Nice guns.
How was it? Have a little kick?
That was great. Yeah, it was good.
Jordan, you're never going to come back to the booth, are you?
Ever. Having too much fun down here. I just can't feel my feet. Other than that, it's great. Well, it starts with what they're doing right now, which is huddling. Not many teams do that anymore, so Kyle Shurmur's got to rattle off an entire play, which tells the offensive line what to do, which direction they're going, tells every receiver what to do in a word as well, and then you add the fact that sometimes it's 2 plays. It gets 23, 25 words lengthy. It's not easy to rattle off.
Elijah Lipscomb catches the slant on 3rd down, turns it into a 14-yard gain, and a Vanderbilt first.
As a different position player, Tom, you know what things to pick up. So when you hear all those, if you hear maybe a 300 or you hear a 90, you know that's going to be a protection. That would be all an offensive lineman has to worry about. Jordan, what gets me are the motions and the trades, because then you start throwing all that vocabulary in as well. That's when I just completely lose what Ludwig's talking about.
And here's one of those shifts. They put Cody Markell and Jared Pinkney over the right side and then bring Lipscomb in motion. Shurmur downfield, caught in stride. Elijah Lipscomb, gain of 22. Jordan, you know what it's like. You had Jordan Matthews. This is a tandem that's in sync here tonight again.
Yeah, and they come right back to another over route. We saw Kyle Shurmur miss a little high previously on an over route to Elijah Lipscomb. When you've played as much football as these two have together, and you have this type of relationship, you know you're not going to miss that twice in a row. So I love that Andy Ludwig goes back to the play action, dips back into the well, calls it again, knowing that those two guys are going to get it right the second time.
Lipscomb has been targeted 8 times tonight. He has 5 catches for 56. Stretch, Keyshawn Vaughn. 5 yards.
You see how that play just kind of lulls you to sleep? That stretch play just doesn't look like you get anything, and then you hear Tom Hart say 5 yards. That thing can go inside, outside. We've seen the play actions here in the second half be extremely effective off of those, but just so many different ways that play can be effective.
Vaughn again, maybe a yard. Third and 5 now.
Been getting a lot of man coverage. I got to feel like this might be a scenario where Kyle Shurmur looks for his tight end, Jared Pinkney, manned up against a nickel or a linebacker, depending on Ole Miss's personnel.
Ole Miss showing pressure from Hibbler on the outside. Here he comes. They go underneath. Out of the backfield is Jamari Wakefield for a gain of 11.
It's a great job right there. He did look in Jared Pinkney's direction. Pinkney was on a nub. He was the nub side tight end attached to the line of scrimmage on a corner route. Both Ole Miss defenders go deep. You throw the flat route. Again, check downs can be your best friend as a quarterback and keep the sticks moving.
And Wesley McGriff told us when Pinkney's into the boundary, we're going to bring pressure to that side. They did on that play. Shurmur made a brilliant check down.
Vaughn's got 1 rushing touchdown tonight. He's off Shurmur's right hip. To the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, C.J. Bowler. A 3-yard strike. And Vandy's back in front. Kyle Shurmur's just tied Jay Cutler for the Vanderbilt career touchdown pass mark.
And Cole, you mentioned that outside zone lulling you to sleep. Well, C.J. Bowler has been a decoy on nearly every pass concept tonight. He's been running deep. They've been throwing short. So they go play action, and a guy that hasn't really had much action at all tonight has been a decoy all night, slips free from the defender, wide open in the end zone. Great play design.
Riley Gay punches through the point after. Play action after pulling back from Vaughn and throwing a strike to Bowler. His 2nd touchdown catch of the season for the freshman from Purvis, Mississippi. Red zone touchdowns the difference in this one. Elijah Moore to receive for Ole Miss. Eric Mason needs to win the last 2 games of the regular season. A win here tonight would make next week's game against Tennessee essentially a playoff game. Winner gets to 6 wins in a bowl. And Vandy's won 7 straight against schools from Tennessee. Swing pass. Woolard picks up 7. Ladarius Wiley with the stop.
Tell you what, we mentioned earlier in the game how Phil Longo, the offensive coordinator for Ole Miss, was going to have a pitch count on Jordan Ta'amu running the football. That pitch count goes out the window right now, down a touchdown, nearly into the 4th quarter. You got to do whatever you need to do to win. Right now, that running game with Isaiah Woolyard is going, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Jordan Ta'amu start to run the football as well.
Woolard picks up 11 there and a 1st down. We come to an end to the 3rd quarter.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
Vanderbilt with a touchdown lead on Ole Miss. They've gotten red zone touchdowns. Ole Miss has gotten red zone field goals. Kyle Shurmur with a play action look and a bullet to C.J. Buller. Vandy 26, Ole Miss 19. We head to the fourth in Nashville. In Ladarius Wiley's words, he had to take a pause in his life the week before the Missouri game after his father, Lincoln Wiley Jr., passed away following shoulder surgery at just 63 years old. He's with his wife Sue and the entire family. The 5 boys, Logan, Larry, Lincoln, London, Lavario, the siblings of Ladarius and their nephew Leighton in the picture there. He said, my dad was always there for me. At halftime, he had the oranges and Capri Suns. I learned so much from him. He was my best friend. I could talk football. I could talk girls. I could talk life with him. And he knew during that Missouri game he was so proud. Ball with Flutter, incomplete. And guys, to spend time with Ladarius Wiley, the Los Angeles native, and hear him talk so openly about what is a devastating loss for he and his family was beyond impressive.
And the only thing that I could continuously think while we're visiting with him, Tom, was as a father, I hope my son and my daughter speak about me that way one day. That's how impressive it was.
2nd and 15 now for Ole Miss. Swing pass goes to Elijah Moore, and it's a couple of yards for Moore. He had the unwavering support of Derek Mason. When he first reached out to Mace, he explained what had happened, and Coach Mason said, you got to go home. He said, no, I want to stick here. I want to stick with football. This is what my dad would want. He said, no, you need to be home and help your family. So with help from the athletic department, he flew cross country to LA. He came back late Wednesday night, early Wednesday morning on a red eye. Derek Mason held him out of practice that day. He said, you'll play in the game, but you need to get everything straight. Deep shot. Dawson Knox with the catch, and an Ole Miss first down. It's a gain of 37. Wiley would eventually play against Missouri. Forced 2 fumbles, was in on 8 tackles. And now he and his Vandy defensive teammates need to stand tall here a minute into the 4th quarter. Long throw to the outside, left wide open was DeMarcus Lodge. Jordan, what do you think of Tamu's arm from up close?
I mean, he's got a ton of arm talent. I mean, just uber arm. He's such a natural thrower of the football. Everything he does looks effortless, and he surprises me. This low to the field, you can tell just how accurate he is on some of these underneath throws when he drives the football.
Tamu's thrown for 394. He's got 7 career 400-yard games in total offense. Shot to the end zone. One-hand grab. He got it. DeMarcus Lodge with the touchdown catch. A 9-yard strike.
Just spoke about the accuracy. This is an unbelievable catch, but it is an accurate throw. That's where Ta'amu wanted to put the ball, on the back shoulder. But wow. I mean, sometimes you just got to admire a good catch like that. Holy.
That was insane.
That's NFL style all the way down to the toe tap. He got both feet in. Lodge has 2 touchdown catches tonight. Tamu's thrown for 403. It's his 4th career 400-yard passing game. 8th career 400-yard game of total offense. Boys, what do you think of this grab? Back shoulder, left hand, stick. And DeMarcus Lodge with 2 touchdown grabs tonight. Ole Miss 26, Vandy 26, 9:43 remaining in regulation. Jamari Wakefield will take a fair catch. Cole, with all due respect, I do apologize, but it made for one heck of an Instagram story.
Cole's all about the gram, too.
Yes. Little stretch. Keyshawn Vaughn able to get around the corner.
He's salty about it, but not too much because he loves the attention he got on Instagram for it. So
7 yards for Vaughn, and the official saying, hey, keep your comments to your sideline, not the other.
That stretch play again for Vaughn. He does an excellent job utilizing patience and vision to allow holes to develop or potentially bounce that play all the way to the sideline.
Yeah, with how explosive he is, it's impressive to watch film and just see how patient he is in waiting for these blocks to develop.
From the Nashville area, he left to go to Illinois and had a fantastic start to his career as a Fighting Illini. Straight ahead, Vaughn. And through the grip of one guy. Took a couple others to bring him down. It's a gain of 12. He said, Coach Mason understood why I wanted to leave Nashville originally, and he had a spot for me when I wanted to come back. They had a spot, guys, in the middle of the season where he was told he was going to have 120 carries over a 6-game stretch. Then he got injured, and they had to wait for him to come back, and he's been a revelation here late in the year. Vaughn bottled up, or is he? Bounces to the outside. Another 100-yard game for Keyshawn Vaughn as he takes it 9 yards to set up a 2nd and short.
And the reason there was so much confidence, he's the perfect mixture between the other 2 running backs on the roster, Kari Blasingame and Jamari Wakefield. Blasingame is the big physical runner. Wakefield is the slasher. Keyshawn Vaughn's a great mixture of both. Meet with him in person. He's thicker than I thought when I flip on the film. So he's physical, yet he's dynamic. He'll make you miss. He's great catching the ball out of the backfield. So by the time the rust came off and the injury kind of subsided and he was healthy, we knew he was about to pop.
He comes out for a moment, replaced by Jamari Wakefield. And Wakefield goes straight ahead to pick up the Vanderbilt first down. Rips it away from his would-be tackler. And we're going to flag at the tail end of that one. It's a gain of 12. A fresh leg. Jamari Wakefield has a first down run as we await the penalty.
Personal foul, face mask, number 89 on the defense. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
Ryder Anderson had a fistful of face mask.
Elijah Lipscomb checking back in the game. With the way this running game is going, I smell a play action at some point here as we get closer to the red zone.
Offensive line coach Kim Norcross going to love this drive. Gotten good push on every play consistently. And you mentioned it, Jordan. Running backs have helped that offensive line. I don't know. If it ain't broke, don't fix it here.
Yeah, offensive lineman saying that.
Pinckney into the backfield. Shurmur checks it underneath the bowler. He is swarmed after a gain of 5. Vanderbilt has run for 170 yards tonight. Kyle Shurmur, 19 of 29 for 186 and 2 touchdowns.
That's part of the play action pass that you don't see a ton of. When you hear play action pass, you think, oh, taking shots downfield. Well, right there, they designed that play action pass to hit a 5-yard stop route. They got a corner route over the top to pull the coverage, a flat route to expand them, open a void, nice easy completion right off that run fake.
Lipscomb top of the formation. Here's a touch pass to a streaking Donovan Tennyson. And Ole Miss has it played perfectly. It's a loss of 8. Vernon Dasher.
Saw Tennyson get off on this play, the jet sweep earlier in the game. Great penetration there on the outside. Tennyson's got to go backwards before he's able to go forwards again. Good job by Contain on that one for Ole Miss.
Vandy's converted 30% of their third down attempts. This is a 3rd and 13. Shurmur looking for Pinckney. He's covered, so he'll try to take off, and he gets taken down at the line of scrimmage by Benito Jones. Officially goes for a sack, got him behind the line. And Vandy will attempt a long field goal with Riley Gay.
And a great job in the secondary by safety Zedrick Woods. Kyle Shurmur had the matchup he wanted. He had his tight end, Jared Pinckney, on the linebacker, Mohamed Sanogo. That's the matchup they want. But Zedrick Woods was able to get over the top. Shurmur wasn't able to hit the throw, and that's when it breaks down.
Riley Gay from 44. And he crushes it. Gay has given Vandy the lead again. It's a 3-point advantage for the Commodores. They need to win their last 2 to make it to a bowl. And in a nip and tuck affair with Ole Miss, it is late, and it's a Vandy lead with 5:20 to go in the 4th. Matt Luke's been a part of this Ole Miss program his entire life. He played here. His family members played here. And the Rebels trail Vandy on the road with a rivalry game looming Thanksgiving Thursday night against Mississippi State. The freshman Elijah Moore stands at his 2-yard line awaiting the kick from Riley Gay. Plenty of hang time on the kick, and Moore will take a fair catch. You're out of your mind. Tamu throws on the run, too high, overshot Isaiah Woolard.
Again, number 10 in the backfield affecting the quarterback. Dio Adangbo, Drew Berschmeyer.
They're looking for more consistency from Dio Adangbo. Against Notre Dame, lost contained on a key play. Against Missouri, he let down on one single play that really hurt Vanderbilt. 4-man rush, Tamu, time, a strike. DeMarcus Lodge will turn it back upfield and pick up an Ole Miss first down. Why are those throws so impressive from Tamu?
I mean, it's the velocity. I mean, we're right down here on the field by this throw. A defender was in place to make a play on that ball, but there's so many RPMs coming off his hand, defender doesn't have time to get in front of that. And here goes Tamu.
Tamu is able to rip off a 7-yard run. Jordan Griffin cut him down.
And with all 3 timeouts, you had time to throw in a couple of those.
I wasn't so sure that Jordan Tamu early in this game was healthy enough to pull off a run like that. I mean, part of it, as you talked about, Jordan, was the so-called pitch count and using him on quarterback runs. But when they did, he wasn't really effective. He didn't show that explosiveness like he did a month or so ago against Arkansas. Draw. Woolard trying to shake Ladarius Wiley. He's able to pick up a first down. Got out of bounds. Clock stops at 1:28.
And this time a traditional draw to the running back. I know they pick up the first down here, but if Ladarius Wiley doesn't make this tackle, that's 6. Again, the safety having an opportunity to make a solo tackle and save a touchdown.
Career high rushing yards for Woolard. He's got 103. 1 carry away from his career high in rushes. Lodge is in the game. You guys weren't sure if he was healthy. He's the top receiver right there. Tamu goes to him. Incomplete. Tremendous recovery by Jawan Williams.
And not only is DeMarcus Lodge limping right there, but that's a corner route. And Vandy's sitting in cover 2 here. Jawan Williams has no flat route threatening him, so he sinks back. That's either a busted coverage or Jordan Tamu should have worked the other side of the field, because that's a combination route that needs a flat to hold that corner.
Trips to the left, including A.J. Brown on the outside. Leading receiver for Ole Miss. Tamu, quarterback draw. Legs look good here, and he's going to scramble out of bounds for a first down. Jordan, let me ask you about that. You look towards Lodge, who now limps off the field. Why aren't you looking more towards A.J. Brown?
That's a great question. I have no idea.
There's literally no answer for that.
I'm throwing number 1 the ball every time I can. But that last play right there, that was a draw PO. They spread receivers out to the left side, to the bottom of the screen. Vanderbilt bumped defensive players that way. So Jordan Tamu decided to take the quarterback draw to the right in a big game.
There's Brown on the outside. Lodge left the game. Alex Weber is in on the right side. Tamu looking for him. Incomplete. Pressure came from Jordan Griffin. 1:13 remains.
Griffin comes off the left side there. Interested to see how much Vandy is willing to bring pressure and leave man coverage. We saw Jawan Williams make the play, playing cover 2, playing zone. We saw pressure in man there. Got to be careful in man coverage with A.J. Brown split wide to the bottom of the screen.
Luke Logan's career-long field goal is 40. He is 4 for 4 tonight. Tamu, lob deep down the sideline. Brown bobbled it and couldn't haul it in. Randall Haney had the coverage for Vandy. 1:07 remains. Rebels have a pair of timeouts.
The man coverage they wanted just wasn't able to adjust quick enough and secure that the first time.
I don't think anybody questions the decision.
No, not at all. You got man coverage. That's what we just hinted at. We're looking at almost the exact vantage point that Jordan Ta'amu has right now on the field. I look out there, see man coverage. I'm going back to it if it's there again.
A.J. Brown has 9 catches, 212 yards, and a touchdown. Ta'amu looking that way. Now over the middle. Back to the right. It is caught. Fantastic grab by DeMarcus Lodge. Lips off the field now for a play. It's a gain of 13.
That's an unbelievable play, Cole.
Absolutely. What a snag. Goes up and high points this football right on the sideline. How about Ta'amu getting rid of that football?
How about the throw?
Yeah. Two hands right in his face.
I mean, his feet weren't in it. His shoulders were facing the wrong way. A flick of the wrist. High on the outside for DeMarcus Lodge. Unbelievable throw and catch.
He's got a 100-yard receiving gain. 1 minute, 1 second left on the clock. Ta'amu, draw play. Eric Swinney. Timeout, Ole Miss. Ball came out late. Swinney was able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Their second.
One team's playing to try to make it to bowl eligibility. The other one only has 6 days left in its season. Ole Miss trying to finish with a flourish. And they line up with a 2nd and 10 now. A.J. Brown guarded by Randall Haney. Ta'amu looks for Brown, comes back off of his hands. Haney, the redshirt freshman, is able to turn down Brown, who already has 212 yards receiving tonight.
How about that? They throw away from Juwan Williams. Randall Haney, just one pass breakup on the entire year. In man-to-man coverage there with the back shoulder. That's a great throw right where Ta'amu wanted to put it to his best receiver. An even better play by Haney to break it up.
And it's A.J. Brown, a first-rounder, an NFL star in the making. 3rd and 10. Brown's in the same spot. Different coverage now. 2 high safeties for Vandy. Ta'amu will roll that direction. They need 10. And right at the stick, but shy of it, is Elijah Moore. That's going to set up a 4th and a very short one.
Decision time now for Matt Luke.
44 seconds left. You get a timeout if you need to think about it. But you got to kick it. And they will. And it is good. Luke Logan is 5 for 5, and with 40 seconds left, we are tied at 29.
And a really good hold. Snap was a little low and outside. Great job getting that down and staying focused and putting it through.
Can we get Tom to tell you that?
Yeah, you want me to?
How's it look, Tom?
It looks good. It looks really good. Just take my word for it. I was all over it. And Luke's squad able to tie it up. Derek Mason all business. They'll need to get it back to the 35-yard line to give Riley Gay a chance to be in his range. Gay has a 44-yarder to his name tonight. A career-long 53-yarder against Florida earlier this season. Fair catch taken. This chilly weather is perfect for Gay. Comes from a hockey family. His uncle played in the NHL and that 1984 U.S. Olympic team. His dad played hockey at Notre Dame. Can Shurmur get them into field goal range? Four-man rush. Shurmur flushed. He will tuck it and run out of bounds. A scramble of 6. 33 seconds left.
Good decision by Shurmur. It was a 3-man twist on the right side of the offensive line. The left defensive end for Ole Miss came all the way back inside of the opposite A-gap. And that's what forced Kyle Shurmur out of the pocket. Just didn't get the game switched off up front.
Vandy's going to go trips right. 2 of the favorite receivers off to the right side, including Kalijah Lipscomb, the outside receiver. Pinckney is the inside receiver. Shurmur taken down. Benito Jones with a quarterback sack for Ole Miss. It's a loss of 5. Vandy uses a timeout with 27 seconds left.
That's when a blitz is so dangerous for a team that's trying to push the ball downfield. There's not a quick outlet for Kyle Shurmur, so the pressure's on him. He has nowhere to go with the football. Nothing to do but take a sack there.
Third down 9. Vandy just 3 of 12 on third down tonight. Ole Miss brings a late blitz. They run right up the middle with Kari Blasingame. Vandy's got a timeout. Gain of 5. And it'll be 4th down. And Vandy will take this one to an extra period. Ole Miss 29. Vanderbilt 29. It's a must win for Vandy's bowl hopes. Ole Miss playing for pride, and they get plenty of it here in Nashville. We head to overtime. Keyshawn Vaughn in the backfield for Vandy. Vaughn stacked up after a gain of 1.
Big Josiah Cogney in there, coming across, making that stop. A guy that doesn't get a ton of credit on the interior of this Ole Miss defense, but the entire staff mentioned to us just how well he's played, how disruptive he's been, somebody who's really helped them improve over the past few weeks.
They've encouraged him to try and play through some of the nicks and bangs that a typical football player gets. His defensive coordinator told him, hey, they're not going to take the uppercut out of boxing. Let's go. 2nd down 9. Pressure up front. And Keyshawn Vaughn runs right past it. Vaughn down to the 5. A physical 19-yard run for Vaughn.
And a great job by the interior offensive line here for Vandy. Ole Miss brings a blitz up the middle. Vandy takes care of it. Anytime you bring a linebacker and blitz him on a run play, if you don't hit home, it's going to get to the second level and be a big play.
Vaughn banged up. He's out of the game for a moment. Derek Mason says stay close. Jamari Wakefield is next to Shurmur in the backfield. Shurmur to throw, slant, caught, touchdown! Kalijah Lipscomb. Flag down after the play as Kyle Shurmur has just set a new Vanderbilt record for career touchdown passes.
After the touchdown, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 16 on the offense. That penalty will be assessed at the succeeding spot in overtime. We'll have the try. That is number 16's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
That is a killer penalty. Vandy just took the lead in overtime. Ole Miss is going to start their overtime possession from the 12. Gay's point after is good, and we got a flag on
it. Running into the kicker on the defense. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is good.
So, half the distance after the penalty. Ole Miss starts its overtime possession with the handoff to Isaiah Woolard. And he takes it inside the 10, a gain of 4.
That's a good start. If Ole Miss can get the ground game going this close to the goal line, it's exactly where they want to be.
Got to think a design Jordan Ta'amu run is coming, right?
I would think so.
Been so good late in this 4th quarter.
DeMarcus Lodge still gimpy moving around the field.
Surprised he's still out there. I mean, he's having trouble getting to his spot and getting lined up.
Out of the pistol. Tamu, play action, pressured with a little boot, fires in zone, incomplete. Elijah Moore was the intended receiver. Odangbo brought the pressure.
I love the play call, getting your quarterback, your athletic quarterback outside the pocket. Good pressure by Odangbo. Forced the bad throw. Now he got 2 downs to pick up 8 yards.
Elijah Moore and A.J. Brown split to the right side. They're down 6. Safety blitz coming for Vandy. Tamu fires. Brown caught. Touchdown Ole Miss, or did he finish it? Randall Haney had the coverage. Brown took it down. It goes for a score, and the ball came up after he was already on the turf. What about the effort from Randall Haney tonight? He's been locked up with A.J. Brown, and Brown has had another monster night, but Haney's come up with a couple of big plays.
Yeah, he's been fabulous. I mean,
I think you brought up a great point, Tom. You can't see it on that angle, but where his feet are, and this angle might give it to us. Where Randall Haney's feet are if and when he were to assume possession of this ball.
After further review, the receiver did not maintain possession all the way through the ground. Therefore, it is an incomplete pass. It will be 4th down for Ole Miss.
So there it is, incomplete. They said Haney did not have the pick. So 4th and 6. Ole Miss needs a conversion to stay alive. Once again, the matchup is Brown on the freshman. 2 safeties, as you mentioned. Tamu out of the shotgun. Looks the opposite way. Back shoulder. Incomplete. Knocked down. Vandy will win it in overtime. Juwan Williams with the play of the night against DeMarcus Lodge. And the Dores are still alive for the postseason.
Coach, how did that one feel?
Great. That's all I can say is great, man. Hey, man, these kids played 60 minutes plus. And you know what? I mean, it wasn't perfect. But I told them, listen, don't get too high, don't get too low. Just get right back to the middle. Man, fight for the now, and that's what they did. So it's good job.
What can you say about this defense? They struggled late in games at times, but they came up big in the biggest moments tonight.
Yeah, man, these guys competed. We told them at the end of the day, man, we were going to have to get stops. You know, when you look at this offense was high-powered. They could score. I mean, they made some big plays early. Just told these guys again, get back to the middle, and that's what they did. Second half, we got back to the middle.
You mentioned to us yesterday you were even concerned about some of the letdowns that this team had in the second half. The way they battled back tonight, what did they prove to you?
Well, this team's been capable of being a really good football team, but you know what, man, we hadn't played a full game yet. Listen, play a full game, play 60 minutes, and if it goes 60 plus, you know, I'll take that. But tonight, man, I thought they played every bit of the ball game. There were no lows. We didn't get it done sometimes, but this team played the way we were capable of playing, and we fight and get a victory.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you. Anchor down.
Vandy's defense is able to stand up tall. Juwan Williams, a junior from right here in Nashville, out of Father Ryan, denies DeMarcus Lodge a 1st down and a touchdown, and Vandy survives in overtime. They'll play for a bowl next week against the Vols. Our final, Vanderbilt 36, Ole Miss 29. For Jordan Rogers and Cole Kubelik, our sensational SEC Network crew, I'm Tom Hart. Let's take you back to the studio.